right, Ken. How does it go?
Do you want to use this or
I can assure you my speech title had absolutely nothing to do with public speaking, but my no fear speech is also about horse. Actually, I just stole that off you. PAWS. No fear when it comes to animals. And when you do have fear, there are certain ways to get around it and deal with it. One of those is to avoid it, which I tried to do tonight by telling my ex that he had a lot of work and I shouldn't take my son because he was sick. He said, no, you go. And another way you can deal with it is to just toughen up and face a bloody man. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Drink a couple of cement and hard enough. Another way you can deal with fear in situations is having just a healthy dose of ignorance. Now, I love animals and I only have one cat because I'm renting, so I have to get my pet quotient from other people's animals. And there's a favourite back road in Roachdale that I drive down all the time on the way home from school. And there's horses and cows and sheep and dogs there, so I stop and pat them. And one day I stopped and patted 3 of my favourite horses. And I heard this clip bop on the Richmond Road, and a huge horse just came out of someone's driveway, came over, crossed the road to the fence where I was, said hello to the horses, so I just went, hello. And the horse looked at me and cantered off down the road. And I thought, that's not right. He's obviously gotten out of his paddock. A car came around the corner, so the horse screeched to a stop and turned around and cantered back, and a guy came out of the driveway, so I said, what's with this horse? You know, your horse is loose. And he said, oh no, it's not my horse. And he drove off. I went, oh, okay. The car came down the road and said, what's with this horse loose? And I said, it's not my horse. So he drove off. And then another car came down the road and she said, what's with the horse loose? And I said, I don't know. And she said, well, you know, I've got horses and I've got a halter in the car and I've got some apples. We should do something about it. So I said, jolly good. So she got out some Granny Smith apples and pegged them at the horse. And the horse went and got them. And this was a big horse. I could not see over his wither. I couldn't even see over the curve of his back. And when the horse was eating the apples off the ground, she said to me, now, this halter isn't big enough for him. You hold on to him, and I'll take the kids in the car and go back and get a bigger halter. And I said, okay. So I held on to this horse, and she drove off. And this horse decided he wanted to go somewhere else. So just trading a little bit like a plough behind a tractor. And I had no say over where it went. It dragged me across the road and round someone's house and through their front yard, and I just was holding on for dear life to this, to the head cover that it had on this horse. Finally she came back, the apple lady. She had some more apples with her. And she put a bigger halter on. And she said, now we have to get him somewhere safe. Let's walk in, you should walk him down to the round yard. And I said, what round yard? And she said, the round yard down there. And I was like, what's a round yard? And she said, no, it's fine, you'll be fine, you just take him down there. I'm going to go down the road, get some help, we'll open the gate for you. It's down on the left, you'll be fine. And she drove off again. So I thought, well, at least I've got a halter and a lead rope, how hard can this be? So I took the lead rope, and I'm used to, you know how you see in pony rides, sort of got a little bit of slack in the rope. So I started walking along with this horse, and then stopped, and the horse was just standing there looking at me. As if to go, and then he walked up beside me and bumped his shoulder against me, nearly knocking me over. So I started walking again, and he stopped and came up to me again, bumped me with his shoulder, and I thought, okay, he's trying to tell me something. He must want me to walk beside his shoulder. So I just had thongs on, and I was walking in, you know, grassed area, and by thongs I mean Australian thongs, not American thongs. And I was trying to get this huge horse, had hooves the size of dinner plates. So I was like prancing along like this, trying to hold the lead rope, trying not to get stood on. And this horse was very skittish and had been freaked out by all these cars. So I tried really hard to just calm him down, said everything's going to be okay. You know, oh look, there's some sheepies, look at the sheepies. You know, and then a dog barked, so the horse freaked out and lifted his head up and nearly yanked me off the ground. So I said, you know, there's the dog, look, the dog goes, yap, 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 you know, the doggy's okay, let's go. Finally, I saw these two women down near a round yard, which as it turned out was a yard that was round. and I walked the horse in there, they held the gate open, and I walked the horse in, and the apple lady came in and ripped the halter off and ran through the fence. And so I just patted the horse, I said, everything's going to be okay, you know, you're good now. And this lady said to me, come and climb through the fence, I was like, okay. So I climbed through the fence, and this horse just bolted and started running rings around the yard. And I realised a huge horse, loved to run, wanted me to hold his lead rope really close to him and walk next to his shoulder, that he was a racehorse, or at least an ex-racehorse. And so I climbed out of the yard, and then these two ladies said to each other in front of me, oh, would you have walked him down here? No, I would have walked him down here. I was like, great, these two experienced horse ladies had left me to go and walk this giant racehorse down the road in thongs by myself. So I was glad that I was just ignorant of that situation, because that left me with no fear.
Never seen one of these before, have you? First time in Sunnybank Club, a first time a ribbon being given to a first time a speech maker. Well done, Carolyn.